Kate, you retired to the Lake District. I meant retired in the sense that you retired, not retired. You retired to the Lake District before you made this Mercury-nominated album. How do you think that sort of motivated your creative process, and what sort of artist would you be now if you hadn't done that?
I don't think there was an option really. I kind of needed to take the surveillance off music, so that I could learn to enjoy it again. So there really wasn't any other way, I don't think.
Because you were sort of composing in a shed, is that right, on a piano? And was it a kind of return to enjoying making music again?
Yeah, absolutely, and also making it without, this constant surveillance of, I'm making an album and this could be a great, song for that album. It was, I was writing for the joy and it was cathartic, because I was alone for a long time, so I had a bit of a personal reckoning, as one does, But yeah, it was great.
And with regards to kind of, you talk about the surveillance of kind of being involved in a project, do you think that kind of time out is beneficial to perhaps all of us these days with the kind of pace of life that we live in?
Yeah, I think so. And I think I can only speak personally, but when you're doing something like music and you're asking people to invest in what you're doing, you can't really ask that of people unless you know for sure you're invested yourself. So it's good to take the time out to make sure that your motives are in check, I suppose.
How does it feel to have kind of been in the Lake District in quite a remote rural part and then suddenly find yourself in the middle of this sort of hubbub of cameras and lights and interest? Is it a strange sort of juxtaposition of experience for this album?
Yeah, it always is so. You privately craft something and then there's that fault line when it becomes public property, and you learn to deal with the let go, So it's always quite strange, yeah.
And what does it feel to be part of this class of 2019? There's been a lot of discussion about it's a very political class in terms of what the albums represent. There's an awful lot of representation and albums about identity. What does it mean to you to be part of this class?
I think it's a really vocal time in history politically. I think people are very moved and haunted by what's going on politically. So, and everything else. So it's kind of, I think it's going to resonate through everything. That's what art and music are reflections of the times, aren't they? Be it people escaping from it or people holding a mirror up to it. It's always going to resonate through, I think.
And just finally, I read that if you were to win, you might treat yourself to a big saw because you got really into woodwork. Is that still the plan? If you were to win, would it be a big saw that would be the beneficiary of the prize?
Absolutely, no doubt in my mind. Yeah.
Would you craft a celebratory chair or stool of some description?
No, I don't think I would, but yeah.
Thank you very much for your time. Congratulations.
Thank you.